Hi everyone and good morning. Today we are moving on to topic 6.2, effects of forces. But before we get into that, let us do a recap of our previous session, which was 6.1, types of forces. So our step to success last time was firstly to state the definition of a force. Do you guys remember the definition of a force? A force is a push or a pull, or a combination of a push and a pull. For example, bending or twisting. And the second learning objective was to state the 3 types of forces. And the 3 types of forces that we learned was gravity, the force of friction, and magnetic force. Now our new learning objective is to describe the effects of a force on a body at rest or in motion with respect to change in speed, change in direction, change in size, and change in shape. So what we mean by body at rest, it means that the object is not moving. And if we apply a force at it, the speed, the direction, the size, or the shape can change. And that in motion means if it is moving. So these things would change as well. And we need to try to talk about and explain how a force actually has an effect on an object, whether it's not moving or when it's moving. All right, so our step to success today is firstly to state the 4 effects of forces on a body at rest and in motion, and secondly to state the changes that is produced when a force is applied on the body at rest or in motion. All right, so firstly, forces and its effect. So we have looked into the 3 types of forces. We learned about the force of gravity, the force of friction, and also magnetic force. And if you have a look at this GIF right here, can you guess what is the type of force that actually helps to get the Earth to revolve around the sun? It starts with the letter G. If you guys have the right answer in your head right now, you're right. It's correct. It is a force of gravity. And when the Earth is rotating around the sun, we can't really see the force that actually is pulling the 2 masses together. But it is there, and you can see the effect of it. So the force is actually invisible. You can't really see it. However, the effects of that force can be observed. What are the 4 effects of forces? So when a body is at rest or in motion, a force can change the body's speed, direction, size, and also the shape. For example, changing in speed. If an object is already moving, that means it's in motion, a force can act on it to change the speed of that object that is already in motion. The speed of the object can become either faster or slower. The speed of an object will become faster if the force applied is in the same direction of its motion. So what this means is, for example, if you look at this GIF right here, they are riding a bicycle, and that means that they are moving, and they're moving in that direction right there. And they're moving up a slope, so they're actually going pretty slow. And if you look over here, what the girl is doing, so I'm just labeling M for motion, yeah? So motion is in that direction. And the girl, she is applying a force to push that bicycle in the same direction as its motion, and the bicycle speeds up. So F right here is for force. So if you apply the force in the same direction as its motion, then the speed of that object becomes faster. So here, the object we're talking about is the bicycle. It did become bit faster after she helped to push in the same direction as it's moving towards. But I think it would have helped if he actually went down the bicycle as well. Right. So just now we were talking about changing in speed in terms of making it faster. But the speed of the object will also become slower if the force applied is in the opposite direction of its motion. So we have here another bicycle, and the bicycle is moving that way. So motion is in that direction. However, if you look over here, he's struggling so hard because if you have a look in the surrounding, there's something else, another force that is in the opposite direction, which is the wind. There's so much wind, you can see that it's blowing their hair and the ribbon and even the dress. However, they're trying to move in the opposite direction of the wind. The wind is moving that way and their motion is moving that way. That's why the bicycle here is slow. So when you have an object and you have a force moving in opposite direction of its motion, then you're going to get a decrease in speed, aka becoming slower. A force applied can also change the direction of that object. So if the force is applied in a different direction, this can cause the moving object to change the direction of motion. It means that if you apply a force while that object is moving, the direction of that moving object could be different. For example, over here, we have volleyball players right here, and the ball here comes from this direction to here, to the second player over here. However, the second player has applied a force, which is to push that volleyball into another direction. So firstly, the ball went from A to B, and now because a force is applied, the direction of the volleyball moved to C. So when you have a force applied in a different direction, and the moving object can also change direction. Thirdly, changing in size. So the size of an object can also be changed if you apply the force. And an example here is very simple. When you blow a balloon, so you know that usually balloons come in very small packaging. But when you blow a balloon, you're pushing, which is forcing air into the balloon. And this results in the increase in the size of the balloon. Lastly, you can change the shape of an object. A force can also change the shape of an object. For example, when we apply force to a plasticine, aka Play-Doh, it can change the shape. So first you have a very nice and smooth surface, and now applying a force on it, you change the overall shape of the object. And that is the end of today. So let's check out our step to success. So firstly, state the 4 effects or forces on a body at rest and in motion. Secondly, it was to state the changes produced when a force is applied onto the body at rest or in motion. So to answer the first step to success, the 4 effects of forces, firstly, is you can change the speed of the object. Secondly, you can change the direction of the object. Thirdly, you can change the size of the object. And fourthly, you can change the shape of the object as well. Second learning objective, we need to talk about the changes that are produced. So for example, when an object is moving and a force is applied in the same direction as motion, the object moves faster, or the speed increases. Secondly, when you have an object that is moving and a force is applied in the opposite direction as motion, the object becomes slower. Third, if the force is applied in a different direction, this will cause the moving object to change the direction of motion. Fourthly, The size of the object can also be changed when you apply force, and this an example is when you blow or force air into a balloon. This causes an increase in size of the balloon. And then lastly, a force can also change the shape of an object. For example, if we apply force onto plasticine, it also changes shape. And that is the end of today. I hope you guys have a great day today. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.